Good day, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Combining Like Terms. That's right, today we're going to be talking about how to combine like terms. Now, remember, when you're combining like terms, it's important to know what a term is. Now, a term in an expression is just the parts of an expression that are separated by an addition sign or a subtraction sign. Now, in this case, we only have addition signs, so we can use those to figure out what the terms are. In this case, 6x is a term, 9y is a term, 12x is a term, and 3y is a term. Now, we got to combine like terms. So let's go ahead and do that. Once again, we're going to combine the things that are alike. So in this case, we have a 6x, and we need to combine it with the other x's, which is 12x's. So if I have 6x's, and I combine it with 12x's, how many x's do I have? That is correct. I have 18 x's. And now I am going to combine the other things. I have y's. If I have 9 y's and I combine that with 3 y's, how many y's do I have? That's right, folks. I have 12 y's. And just like that, we have simplified the expression. Dun, 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 dun. Look, the cat's happy. But I know what you're saying. You're saying, I need more examples. Well, boom. Here's another example just for you folks. Now, once again, terms are separated with addition signs and subtraction signs. Unfortunately, I didn't do an example with a subtraction sign here, but, just pretend. In this case, you can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 terms in this particular expression. But remember, we're here to try and combine like terms. So we need to find the terms that are alike. Well, I have 4 z's here, and I have 2 z's there. So if I combine 4 z's with 2 z's, how many z's do I have? I have got 6 z's. Let's not do it in that ink. Let's do it in this ink. 6 z's. So I'll go ahead and write it right there. And then we're going to be adding something to it. In this case, we're going to be adding 20 combined with 5, which is 25. And then if I add 7 more onto that, then I got myself a 32. So this expression simplifies to 6z increased by 32. Dun, 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 dun. Would you like to do another one? Boom, you're in luck. I have another one. And this time, look, I've got a subtraction sign. Boom. There's a subtraction sign there. There's an addition sign there. And there's a plus sign there. Which is oh so helpful when we're trying to determine how many terms there are. Because remember, terms are separated with subtraction signs and addition signs. There's 1 term, 2 terms, 3 terms, and 4 terms in this particular expression. But we're not here to count terms. We're here to combine like terms. So once again, let's go ahead and do that real quick. Let's underline them this time. I have 20 B's, but what if I get rid of 2 B's? Then I am down to 18 B's. But then I go to the store and I buy an additional 3 B's, which gives me approximately 21 B's. Or I should say exactly, I would have 21 B's. So now that I've combined my B's, I'll put them right there. And then I have one lonely little term just chilling right there, that x. It's a positive x, so we'll go ahead and do a plus x. But it is a lonely x indeed. Now the good news is we have successfully combined like terms. Now I know what you're saying. You're like, but I would like you to do another example for me. Well, you're in luck. Boom, I got another example. Once again, the terms of an expression are separated using plus and minus signs. In this case, we have both plus and minus signs, and once again, we can use that to count up how many terms we have. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, let's go ahead and combine our like terms, or our terms that are alike. We'll do that by underlining first. If I have 3 x's and I go ahead and combine them with 3 more x's, about how many x's do I have? That's right, I have 6 x's. Now, let's go ahead and combine our other like terms. I have a positive 21 and I subtract 9. Well, if I subtract 9 from 21, about how much do I have? That's right, folks. I have a positive 12. Dun, 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 dun. And thus I have successfully combined like terms. But let's do 2 more examples just for kicks and giggles. You know why? Because I feel generous today. I'm going to give you 2 more examples, starting with this one right here. Once again, let's go ahead and let's point out our plus and minus signs. We got a plus sign right there, plus sign right there, and we got a minus sign right there. Now remember, it's your plus and minus signs that are going to go ahead and separate your terms in an expression, which means that we got 1, 2, 3, 4 terms in this here expression. But we need to combine our like terms, so let's go ahead and erase that, make it look nice and neat, and then what we're going to do is we're going to combine our like terms. I have 7p, but then I get rid of 3 of those because I got a minus 3p right there. How many p's do I have left? That's right. I have only got 4p. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down right there. And now I'm going to combine my other like terms. Let's use a different color. How about we do green this time? All right, green. So if I got 3 C's and I combine that with a positive 7 C's, 7 C's, all right, to do the pirate voice with that. Well, how many C's do I have? I've got myself 10 C's. Dun, 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 dun. And I have successfully combined like terms. Let's do one final example because, well, it wouldn't be right if I didn't do one of my W examples. What if I had something like this? What if I had W plus W increased by W plus 4W plus 5W minus W. Is there a way for me to go ahead and combine them terms so it's a lot easier? Well, of course it is. First of all, let's see how many terms we got. Remember, terms are separated by plus signs and minus signs. So I'm going to go ahead and point those out. I got a whole lot of plus signs, and I got one minus sign right there. Now, I can go ahead and circle my terms. I got myself 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I got 6 terms. Now, let's go ahead and combine our like terms. Now, the good news is they's all alike. Every last one of them's alike. So let's go ahead and combine what we got right here. Go ahead and clean that up right quick. If I have a W and I combine that with another W, I got myself 2 W's. But then if I add another W to that, that gives me a solid 3 W's. But then I'm going to take a whole big group of W's, and I'm going to do 4 W's plus 3 W's, which gives me a grand total of 7 W's. But we're not through yet. No, sirree. We've got 5 more W's to add to that 7 W's, and everybody knows that if you add 5 W's to 7 W's, you get yourself 12 W's. But then some greedy little kid came on in and they stuck one of them W's and ran off with it. Well, if I had 12 W's and I got rid of a W, I have only got 11 W's. But you know what? We should be grateful for what we have. We should be grateful that we have a W at all because we's winners and we got a winning attitude. Anyways, I do hope that was helpful to you. If it was, do and like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Or just get a good grade on your assignment. Y'all have a good one.